water. Now, in order for us to understand some of these specific functions of the cell membrane that we have talked about, I'm going to use the second illustration, of course, in trying to show how this cell membrane, of course, can be able to enhance exchange of materials into and outside the cell. We're going to see that some of the materials are going to be barred from, of course, passing through the cell membrane. And for specific functions, of course, that is also going to facilitate its biological role. So in this case, we're going to see that this is basically the shape that I'm encircling here is a protein part. And this is a protein part also. We're going to see that is basically regarded to as a protein channel. That's a channel means that something that can allow passage of materials. Now in this specific set of the cell membrane, this this upper part, of course, these are the heads of this specific phospholipid layer. These are the tails, and these specific parts that we're illustrating for the protein channels are the ones that allow selective exchange of materials. Now, for instance, for a water molecule, it can pass through in and out of the cell, as I've illustrated using this specific part. We're going to see that some of the ions are not going to be allowed either in or out of the cell, using this second illustration that I've used for a charged ion which is bouncing off the surface for extracellular part and the intracellular part respectively. Now, in that case, we're going to see also that some gases are going to be allowed, or the gases generally are going to be allowed inside and outside the cell either ways. And basically that's also going to facilitate some of the cellular functions. And this is used for energy, that is glucose. It is basically going to pass through this protein channel into and out of the cell respectively. Now, contrary to this concept of the ions that are maybe retained or maybe inside or outside the cell, there are some of the ions that pass through these specific channels to access the interior and outside part of the cell. And that, of course, in that regard, we are going to see that some of the compounds like the steroids can as well be allowed inside and outside the cell. Now, this specific concept of allowing some of the materials inside and outside the cell, we refer to it as a semi-permeability. So therefore, we're going to look at some of the properties